Alright, this is for my boy, me, fat boy. Anyway, question is about coaching high school tests. And we'll talk about the first thing. I would write this out, but it's a lot easier to talk about it. First level, tryouts. I would have a meeting before the tryouts, telling kids what they have, the forms they have to fill out, what you expect to do at the tryout, and the format. Generally speaking, for a tryout period, if you're a public school and you need enrollment, if your school has a lot of transition, like I was at a military school where 8% of the population was military and they would be moving like every 2 years, then you have a different kind of situation. You might not want to cut. If you cut down to 12 and you're playing 12, that's kind of bad. You probably want to cut down to 15 and have 3 reserves that fight for spots. That way everyone's fighting for a spot. If you have 12 people and all 12 play and they start to slack off, there's nothing you can do, right? But if you have extra people that can compete for those spots, that becomes an issue. You want to have that. If you have 4 courts, then you can easily have a team. You could probably put 4 people per court, 16 easily. You could probably go up to 6 per court, 24. You can sustain that. There are drills to do that. We can talk about that later. For the tryout, you have your meeting, decide how many people you're going to keep. It's a magic number. Don't tell people what it is. Keep them guessing. Say you're going to keep about 12 to 15 based on the talent pool. Tell them the attitude is very important. Me, fat boy, dude, if you got a great player who's a total jerk and never listens to you and never comes to practice, it's worthless. It's totally worthless because they will never contribute to your team. You'll have this awesome player and they'll come in for the matches, and people do this sometimes, but they don't contribute to your team. It weakens your team. Make that awesome player come to practice. They're going to need high school tennis more than you need them. If they want a scholarship, the colleges will look at their high school performance. They're going to ask their high school team because that's what they want. You want your best player coming to your team, practicing with your team, serving as a role model, showing the players how to get better, and using their talent to improve your own team. Okay, so remember that. Make a rule about that. You're going to run into tons of problems. I often tell players, I would rather have a good number 4 player than a great number 1 player that never listens to me. Because I can make that number 4 player better. Maybe the number 4 player and number 1 player are better than me, but let's put it simply. I'm an adult. I play tennis much longer. I know the game better than you do. Yes, you might be able to hit and outplay me, but I'm sure a lot of players on Duke's basketball team can outplay Mike Krzyzewski. That doesn't mean Mike Krzyzewski is a bad coach. See what I'm saying? And that's the attitude you need to take. You never want to put your position where your players question your ability as a player. They might question your ability as a player, but they must respect your ability as a coach. Okay? Second level of the tryout. What I like to do in the tryout is, if you know who is good, have your returnees play against new people and see how they match up. So what we often do is have our returners play all the newbies and we just match them up. Straight on. I call it bloodbath. Do it for about 2 rounds and just tally the results. Play 4 games. You don't need a lot of games. Tell them we're starting at 2-2. These are the games you're going to play. If you only have limited courts, like we have a tryout, we have 35 kids come out, but we have 4 courts. We play cross-court singles. You're playing a full point cross-court only. So for the forehand side, you're playing cross-court, and you play the point out. It's only cross-court. You're not using the whole court. It's a double stroke. Then that person switches and plays the next point on the ad side. While this point is going on, the next person comes up and plays the deuce side. Okay, and then you can actually have, I've had like 5 matches like this going on where I have 10 people on the court, but they're playing all cross courts. The middle line, if you have a problem, use chalk and draw the middle line. You know, benefit of that. You got 10 players on the court. You got witnesses. They're watching the matches. You can't cheat when other people are watching. You got pressure. You got 10 people on the court. You got people watching it. There is a danger factor playing this many people on one court, but make them aware that if you're not playing stand behind the baseline. If you really want to, and you don't want to do that, but you want the full court experience, play doubles. Have your returnees play the rookies, and watch how they play, and have them play 2 points and switch. 2 points and switch. That way you can have like 2 doubles matches going on at the same time. 8 people per court. That way you occupy your court time. First round, returnees versus rookies. Look at the results, see what the results are. Next round of doubles, returnee and a rookie versus a returnee and a rookie. Because you already know what your returnees can do, sort of. Like the returnees kind of know. You need to talk to the captain of your team from the previous year. You need to talk to someone about the players on your team. Returnees versus rookies, returnee and rookie versus returnee and rookie. That tells you a lot about what's going on. Okay. Alright? If you need to do singles, then you can do this whole thing in singles, but we'll talk about the doubles first. Then after that, you should have results. When you're in win-losses, your returnees should be at top half, your rookies should be at bottom half. Your returnees, once you kind of know that they're much better than your players, once you have like your top 5 or 6, pull them off, have them practice on their own, and have them do a legit practice. Then the people in the middle, you work on them and see where they fall. Have them play against each other. Just kind of round robin and match them up. If you round robin and run an Excel spreadsheet, like I would do 5 rounds and everyone play everybody, you can see what's happening. And you can watch. And you watch what's happening on the court. Who's cheating, bad attitude, disrespectful, etc. And you can see all of that coming up. After that, you should probably have your first cut. There will be players that just aren't good, and you can tell them. We'll talk about how to run the cut speech in a second. So, reviewing the tryout. Pre-match, tryout, pre-meeting, tell them what they need, what you're looking for. Tell them that you're looking for attitude. Tell them that you're looking for the format. Go into your first week of tryouts, do the matches, returnees versus rookies, rookie and returnee versus rookie and returnee. Use your courts wisely. Okay, and then we'll talk about the cut